Hi. Um, so I'm going to continue talking about Naaxiin and the project and weaving. Um, I just want to say that I'm assuming that the people who are joining along with me as far as the Naaxiin and weaving, learning to weave back and forth, um, that you're familiar and you have experience with Raven's Tail and that you are um, willing to learn the Naaxiin. And so I'm going to talk more about the weaving. Ravenstail people are very familiar with weaving from left and then they tie off on the right. So they're constantly weaving in that one direction. And it's very much from, these techniques are evolved from basketry. And if you think about it, when you're weaving a hat, you're weaving around in a cylindrical manner, but you are weaving still all in the same direction. And the same with when you're weaving a basket, all in one direction. And then when you're weaving like a canoe cape, that was all in one direction. And then the robes, the cedar robes and the mountain goat robes were hung on these bar looms. And then the geometric robes that we now call Raven's Tail always went from right to left. And then the tie off. And then that's why you always had to enter that lark's head, right? So in this project, we're not weaving just in one direction. So it's brand new for you if you're truly a beginner to be weaving in the opposite direction that you have always wove. So I'm going to reiterate that the weaving of the both directions. When you're Z twining, when you weave from right to left, your action one is this back one. It goes over its partner, down where that one comes up, and behind two and up. Okay? So that is Zing from right to left, over its partners and behind. Now, if you are an S twiner, like many people are, then when you're weaving from right to left, you would be going, as an S twiner, you would be going under. See how this action one? This back one is your action one. It's going under its partner, behind two, and up. So that's the thing you S-twiners, your Raventail S-twiners, that's going to be where you'll be feeling cumbersome, because it'll be unusual for you to be weaving from right to left. Because when we weave these big robes, chief's robes, we were always, with the geometric robes, we always were weaving from left to right and then tying off over here. So here you're going under its partner, behind two, and up. Under, behind two, and up. So this is your action one. It's going under its partner, over where that front one is popping up, behind two, and up. So that's the action of it. Under, behind two, and up. Under, behind two, and up. And when you do a chilkat turn, this action one goes always. With the Z twining and the S twining, the Naaxiin turn is always the same. This back one is your action one. It goes over its partner and behind one and up, breaking the pair above. Now you're S-twining on towards the right side of your robe, and you S-twiners go over, your action one goes over that front one, down where that front one comes up, and behind two. Over, and close two, over, and close two, over, and enclose two. But it's that you're comfortable with, that you're used to, right? But now you need to turn the corner. When you need to turn the corner, it's the same exact thing. This action one goes over its partner, behind, in this case, one, and up. Now this one goes under its partner, behind two, and up. Under its partner, behind two, and up. Okay? And that's what you're going to be learning and getting used to when you do the Naaxiin, because we weave back and forth with the Naaxiin. And so that will be when you feel a little bit cumbersome. So the action one, when you're weaving from right to left and you're S-twisting, you're S-twining, this back one goes under its partner, behind two, and up. Okay? This back one is your action one. It goes under, and behind two, and up. You're over here, you need to turn the corner. This action one, this back one, goes over its partner, behind, in this case, one, to break that pair above, and up. And then S-twining from left to right is over its partner, behind two, and up. Okay? So I'm Z-twining. So when I Z-twine, I'm going over, behind two, and up. This action one is over, behind two, and up. And that's my Z-twining from right to left. And that's this Z-twining is illustrated in the Chilkat book, Cheryl Samuel's Chilkat book. So again, I don't want to confuse you. When you were working on the left side of their shield, you started your weaver here at the very center of that shield, 30 warps in, right? Because there was 30 warps on this side of the center and 30 warps on this side. So you entered, just like I just did, you entered it here, you came back here, and you're creating the curve by coming in one. Now you're on this side of your object. You've got a separate black pair of wefts, and you enter over here. Don't enter it over at the center of your shield. Enter on the left. I mean on the right. Enter on the right. When you were working here, if you think about it, you entered on the right. You entered your top of your shield and you started going like that, right? Now you're going over on this side of your project enter on the right, then weave to the center of that shield, which is where I'm going right now. Okay, and so here I mark that very center of that shield, and I see I have 2 warps to enclose. So I will enclose those 2 warps, and this one comes right where that weaver started here, right? So the weaver started, there's 2 pairs in the center, right? There's 2 warps in the center, and you've got your mark right between those 2 warps. You entered on this warp, and when you're weaving from here to here, I'm going to come here, grab these last 2 warps, and do a Naaxiin turn, which is the action one goes over the back one and behind one. In this case, the behind one warp and up. And now I'm zetting from left to right. My action one is going to go under its partner, behind 2 and up. Okay? So these stitches didn't overlap each other, okay? So visually, the apex of your shield is going to have a flat area of 2 warps right here at the top. They don't overlap. I'm hoping that you're going to be at this point where you've got one shield and it's formed its curve, and you've been going back and forth to the edge here. And tomorrow we'll talk about the braiding, but you want the background color, you want white, and in this case you do need black, because even if the background color is not black, you still do need a black braid, a small black braid. 2 small white braids, 1 small black braid, and then the braid of the shield color. And if you have small braids of similar to what your color, your major wefts for your shield is going to be, if you have that in a small size yarn too, then I would recommend that you use that small size yarn when you do the braids. I talked about how Naaxiin uses different weights of yarn, like and the reason why they do is because the braids are meant to smooth things. So sometimes if you don't have small weight yarn for your shapes and things, then your braids get bunchy and not smooth. So when you're creating small shapes like circles and eyes and the nostrils of your nose, and then you want small yarn in those small places. So then you smooth those small places. If you don't have small yarn, like the lace weight yarn, and you're using the regular weight yarn, which is, like I said, 2/6, then you do get a bunchy look to things, and you don't get nice tight points and and your eyes, you don't get a nice, the whites of the eyes. If you don't have fine yarn, then it really looks clunky. So if you can get thin yarn for your braids that are going to go around small shapes, then you're going to be your weaving is just going to look very nice if you can use those smaller braids. It's like the opposite when you have these big bands here and you have the braiding between those big bands. You want those to pop out. You want them to be very visible, that separation of the borders there. And it's traditional to use larger yarns for those braids. So Naaxiin weavers use different weight yarns for different purposes. And so when we're creating these shields, we're going to have a regular weight for the background, and we're going to have a regular weight for the inside part of the body of that shield. But the braids around it, it would be good if they were small weight yarns. And it just adds a finesse to your weaving to vary the weight of your yarns for the areas that are needed for the different weights. So that's a difference with Naaxiin. And with Raven's Tail, it's nice if you use the same weight all the way through the robe. Then there's a real consistency to your robe, and it's a good look. But with Naaxiin, you'll use different weights. Anyway, there's my Naaxiin class for now. Thank you very much for listening.